We wanted to make sure that the Colonial Marines in the film operated like a real unit. That's the kind of thing that you can't just fake.
Jim Cameron got together these Special Forces guys that not only trained us rigorously in maneuvers, so we looked like soldiers, but we did it as a team too.
We had a great camaraderie with all the guys, the soldiers, the grunts, and it was fantastic. And when we got together, we got 2 weeks before we started to shoot, which is unusual, to hang out and to train and get to know each other.
They were all bonding together to make them seem more like a group, the Marines. And I was the young one, kind of the offcast, but I just joined in everything that they did. They used to run around the studios, and they'd have the guns underneath their arm, and they'd be running along. And I wanted to be involved, so I'd grab my Cabbage Patch Kid, and I'd run behind them. And I really just wanted to be kind of a part of the whole set, and they really made me feel like I was a part of it.
Al Matthews was actually, I believe, experienced in the military, and he was terrific. But we hired people who trained the entire team as a unit, and it was pretty grueling. It was physical. They went through maneuvers, they went through drills, and Al was their sergeant. And because he had experience actually in the military, he was pretty believable, and I think relished the role.
I would like to think that I was hired because I do my job as an actor. But reality is that because of my military experience, I'm also here. And I think we've done a good job. We've got a lot of actors here who've never seen a weapon before in their life. And they're handling it well. I mean, I have to put the boot in every now and then, but that's how it goes.
We had an actual physical fitness routine for them from 8:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock at night. And they were running, weightlifting, calisthenics.
Run us through drills and teach us how to salute and all of that kind of stuff, and to march with all this heavy equipment.
And so we ran around the sculptured gardens at Pine was very incongruous, all these sort of lovely little hedges and things were going, woo, 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 It was really kind of silly, but it was good. It was really good, and the salting stairwells.
We did deployment exercises and stuff like that, and we beat up this equipment pretty good. We did it for a few weeks.
We learned about how to cover people and just so you knew what you were doing, and it looked like you knew what you were doing, soldiering instead of acting soldiering.
The emotional feelings that they are transmitting all the time, we found that it came over very strongly after a couple of weeks.
For the week we spent with each other, 10 days, we ate together and hung out, and we worked, and we got to know everyone, joking around with people. And it did. You began to feel like you were together in a unit, and now as the film's gone on, I feel like I know all of them.
Sigourney at that time was on Half Moon Street, and they were running behind in schedule. And the whole problem was that I think there was 4 weeks gap between the finish of one and the start of the other, and they were falling more and more behind, and they had promised Sigourney 2 weeks off.
I was really intimidated to meet Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver from Alien, and she'd gone on to do other things in the interim and become a huge star. And she was really disarming and really friendly and easy to talk to. And she was so nice to me that I always thought I must be screwing up because she was so overly nice. But that's who she is, and she really was the leader of the cast. It was a big ensemble with her in the lead.
Maybe it was a good thing that I wasn't there because all the soldiers were bonding and figuring out, experimenting with who they were and what their armor looked like and all that stuff. And it's good, I think, that Ripley isn't one of them. And there's sort of distrust on both sides. But it was weird to come in that late. I literally finished one movie and started the other 3 days later.
It was good that we were together first, and Sigourney and Ripley come in later when we're all a unit, and she's the outsider, and it was was perfect. And the same thing with Burke and Gorman. It just worked out that way. So it was easy that way because they were outsiders coming in.
I was doing a job before that, and I couldn't actually get in for a lot of the training. But I did, work out with weights and did some of the training with them. Yeah, but I've done a fair bits and pieces of militaristic stuff before.
It's been a lot of fun because I am an outsider, and just conspicuously it works physically because these, as I say, these guys are all in their military gear, and I'm a guy with a pencil. So I look at them and I look blazingly inappropriate. And someone told me that the other day, someone asked them why I had been here so long and hadn't worked yet, because they were just walking by the set and they saw everybody in their military, in their uniform, and here was I wearing a flannel shirt and a vest. And they said, and not only that, but why is he standing in the shot? He's holding up everything.
Jim was very open in allowing us to develop our characters. I mean, we had a couple of days where we actually did all the dressing of our weapons and painted our little, idiosyncratic bits of stuff on. I mean, I think my gun in the background here, I called it my bitch. I mean, all the stuff, the bones hanging off my hat. Jim had a bunch of stuff on a table, not put together in any specific way, and he just said, have at it, guys. And he left us for 4 or 5 hours, and we had a ball.
I put my girlfriend's name on there. It was Louise. And then I think I had kind of like some kind of a Japanese kind of a love knot. And actually, I didn't paint that stuff on. I kind of drew it, and then Terry English, the armor, had all the stuff laid on and painted on. I think I had something on the back that said something like dispose of properly, or one of those do not rupture contents under pressure. We had a lot of in jokes like that.
We were encouraged to personalize it, and our lockers, in the shot where we're all suiting up, everybody dressed their lockers. You could see it says adios on the gun. Oh, then it says on my breastplate, it says el riesgo siempre vive, which is a line from a poem that it was a book of Chicana poetry, which means the risk always lives.
Then we were running around being fitted with this armor that was all custom made for us. And I remember Jim had me all suited up in the armor, and he wanted to see just how rugged, how durable it was. So he said, why don't you run down that hallway and just slide into that wall? Okay, Jim. So I ran and slid into the wall. All this stuff broke and came off of me, and he said, this stuff's not ready to go. And so he said to the armorers, you got to make this stuff stronger.
You see the cover and you just see these guys marching and you think, oh wow, what is this? Essentially, it's a story of 300 Spartans. The king takes his elite force to save his nation, to fight, they say, the most massive army ever assembled. Our film, first of all, sets up what a Spartan is, and it's very extreme what they went through. And you see there were no soldiers ever like these guys in the training, the endurance and the toughness, and they have to go and do what is their dream essentially, which is to die in the perfect battle. The king, who basically has to deal with, he wants to take a larger army there, but he has to deal with kind of outdated traditions and corruption within the council and the ephors, who I guess are like their Supreme Court. He realizes it's a decision he has to make on his own, and he has to take his best men and go and make a stand. It's not a documentary, it is a kick-ass story full of passion and politics and brutality and so many more things, existing in this kind of hyper-real, beautiful, emotional world. My look as the king is bigger than anybody else's, I have this big, he's a big persona, with the braid round the head and the big beard, and I wanted to fit that body-wise. I wanted to be an example to the other actors and to the stunt guys that, I wasn't just some guy coming in and playing the king, but I was there in every way and was going to work as hard, if not harder than any of them, to prove myself as the king, as a Spartan. I mean, I started 3 months before we even came to Montreal, and then trained for another 4 or 5 weeks here before the film even started. And at some points, I was training 4 hours a day in the gym. I had 2 trainers, 2 separate trainers. I don't know what I was thinking. They have trained their whole lives. There's nothing they wanted more than to be Spartans. That's taken for granted, that's understood. I'm taking my best men. I know these guys are there with me my problem is holding them back. They're like hungry lions just waiting to go. There's certain times I need to give them a pep talk, but it's short and sweet. There's no flowery language used in Sparta. What is required to motivate your men, to understand what pushes your men and their souls and what drives them and the difference that can make in being an effective force in battle. And it's a great line in the movie when Xerxes says, "How can you ever stand against me when I would gladly kill any one of my men for victory?" And I say, "And I would die for any one of mine." And that, to me, is the essence of Leonidas, that he would die for any one of his men. If you're not going to go away, then let's fight. And let's fight in the best way we can. We're going to kill everybody we can. We're going to take all the bodies, we're going to build mountains out of them, we're going to kill your messengers, that's what we're going to do. And we do it in a very brutal, ferocious way, and we love it. I often feel that we were killing them, we'd be quite happy to drink their blood, and that's me though. I think he's a little crazy as well. I wanted to put a touch of madness in there. There's times when you just, I can't imagine people in other nations saying, "That Leo, he's a crazy dude, that guy, you don't want to mess with him, And at times I wanted to see a touch of that, where he's just like, the intensity is almost unbearable.
Destroy our city.
That don't look like a fair fight.
You are ugly, but you are beautiful. You will fight for us!
Get on.
We did not cause this, but this very night, we will end it!
I was too late once. I won't be again.
This is 7 November Golf.
Target's heading right at us.
He's too fast. Panamanian government evidence of passengers dead or alive. Please stand by.
Are we slowing down?
This thing's only 200 miles off the eastern American seaboard. We don't even know what the hell it is.
Your son seems to be interested in only one thing. All he talks about, all he seems capable of thinking about, is automobile racing.
Racing's everything. For my family, it isn't just a sport. It's way more important than that. It's like a religion.
Are you ready to become a real race car driver? Then sign that contract.
He's just trying to scare you, son.
What you do behind the wheel of a race car has nothing to do with business.
You walk away from me, you walk away from this deal, no matter how well you drive, you won't win, you won't place. I guarantee you right now, you won't even finish the race.
You think you can drive a car and change the world? It doesn't work like that.
Maybe not. But it's the only thing I know how to do, and I gotta do something.
Move it, Speed. It's getting ugly out there.
Wasn't my idea.
Oh, no?
It was his.
He's going to be very good.
No, he's going to be the best if they don't destroy him first.
You better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated top. There is another world beneath it. The real world.
For thousands of years, they have existed among us.
You keep your eyes open. They're everywhere. Chances are you've seen them yourself and didn't know it.
A secret nation.
Our livelihood depends on our ability to blend in.
With a lust for power.
We should be ruling the humans. These people are our food. There's a war going on out there. We kill as many of them as we can find. He makes the weapons. I use them.
Now, one will lead them to conquer mankind.
Tonight, the age of man comes to an end.
We're gonna be gods.
And one will try to stop him dead.
There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
Half human.
Blade's mother was attacked by a vampire while she was pregnant.
Half immortal.
You got the best of both worlds. All our strengths, none of our weaknesses.
He is their greatest fear and our only hope.
It's open season on all vampires.
of them, aren't you?
No, I'm something else. Blade.
They say most of your brain shuts down in cryo-sleep. All but the animal side. Guess that's why I'm still awake.
If the man is gone, he's gone. Why should he bother us?
Maybe to take what you got. Maybe to work your nerves.
Is he really that dangerous?
Only around humans.
All you people are so scared of me. But it ain't me you gotta worry about now.
Whatever it is, it got Zeke and it nearly got me. Get it off me!
They seem to stick to darkness. So if we stick to daylight, we should be all right.
A total eclipse. We're gonna lose everybody out here.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
It may just be my imagination. Whatever it is that's watching, it's not human. What does the scanner see? Into the head? Into the heart? Does it see into me? Clearly or darkly?
Damage has taken place to the normally dominant left hemisphere, and the right hemisphere is attempting to compensate.
Two hemispheres of my brain are competing?
I could be murdered. What if they come in through the bathroom window like that infamous Beatles song?
To sacrifice someone without them ever knowing it.
A man came to see me today. He was terrified. Said someone was coming for us.
This world will end.
I asked him who he was so afraid of. He repeated one name. Totenkopf.
They show up without warning, take what they need, and then they disappear without a trace.
I want this story.
Nothing gets published until I say so.
Totenkopf is building a doomsday device.
Earth will be incinerated.
What have you got me into this time?
Nothing you can't handle, Frankie.
They've started a countdown.
Enemy warships closing fast. We can't hold them off any longer. They're broken through the perimeter. Send reinforcements. Send everything you got.
They're everywhere.
I'm on my way.
How do we get past those machines?
Leave that to me.
5, 4.
Joe!
I see it! 3, 2.
The sun. For millions of years, the source of life. But for one planet, the source of its demise. The temperatures climbed. The vast fields of ice at its poles melted, and the oceans rose. Centuries later, few people remain on this planet once called Earth. Among them, a man who still searches, a woman who still hopes, and a small child who carries the secret to a new beginning. In this place they know only as Water World.
You're after something. Is it revenge? Money? Or is it something else?
You look good. A little rough around the edges, but good.
Heard about a job. Big shot gangster putting together a crew.
I'm a driver, and I'm a flyer. I waited a long time for a shot like this.
What do you think? Well, what do you know?
You got a line on a ship?
Yeah, I know a guy. He's the best smuggler around.
I heard a story about you. I was wondering if it's true.
Everything you've heard about me is true.
L3!
Let go of the mean man's face.
Who are these guys? If you come with us, you're in this life for good.
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
Here they come! Let me give you some advice. Assume everyone will betray you, and you will never be disappointed.
I got a really good feeling about this.
Since when do you know how to fly?
190 years old? You look great.
Push it!
So glad we took this job!
talk to us. What came after? I don't know. Hold on! The town is completely overrun. What's the Army's evacuation plan? Everyone, cut the back!
There's an airlift in 30 minutes.
The Colonel was lying. The Army thinks about containment first. If I'm right,
we're all dead. Fuck you!
In every age, there is a cause worth fighting for. But in the future, the greatest threat to our survival will not be man at all.
Hey, kid, what's going on? It's war! We're going to war!
Now the youth of tomorrow must travel across the stars to defend our world.
We are a generation commanded by fate to defend humankind.
Everyone fights, no one quits.
We are going in with first wave. You smash the entire area. You kill anything that has more than 2 legs. You get me? We get you, sir!
But they will face an enemy more devastating than any ever imagined.
Here it comes!
Incoming!
Mayday, mayday, this is Roughneck 2-0.
We're under attack, sir. We need retrieval now.
Someone made a damn mistake.
The bugs laid a trap for us, didn't they?
TriStar Pictures takes you to the front lines of the next frontier.
Kill them all!
Starship Troopers. Of us, there burns the fury of a warrior. In every generation, a few are chosen to prove it.
One of you 3 will decide the outcome of the tournament.
3 strangers will travel to the mystical realm of Outworld to defend our people against Shang Tsung.
You will die.
And his forces of darkness. In an ancient tournament, one more victory.
Your soul is mine.
And our world is theirs.
It has begun!
You can't run from me, Shang! I don't need to run.